Am I the idiot for leaving a note on my neighbor's doorstep about his screaming children? I have lived in the same apartment building for about 5 years. Throughout my time here, I've had many neighbors come and go, and I have never had any noise issues. However, last year, a new neighbor moved in 3 units down. He's about 40 and has 3 children under the age of 4. For months, I have listened to his children scream/cry all day long, whether it be in his apartment or in the hallway. At first, I tried to ignore the behavior as I felt bad. It appeared he was a newly single father and was struggling. However, as time went on, it became clear that he just straight up lets his kids behave however they want. For example, when they shriek at the top of their lungs in the hallway/right outside my door, he never says, "SHH, let's be quiet," or anything at all. He just lets it happen without a peep. Additionally, I have come to realize the frequency and the volume of the screaming/crying/shrieking is way beyond what is normal. I'd venture to say I hear anywhere from 10 to 15 full-on tantrums every single day, all of which are ear-piercingly loud. And like I said, he does not say or do anything about these tantrums. It's now at the point where I find myself frustrated and annoyed in my own home all the time. Right now, I'm working on a paper in my apartment, and I can't even concentrate because all I can hear are his children. Because of this, I wrote a note, a polite note, and left it on his doorstep. Essentially, my note said that I sympathize with him, but the noise is out of control. I also stressed that I wanted to confront him directly first. I realize that sounds hypocritical since I left an anonymous note, rather than going straight to management. Am I the idiot for leaving this note? Should I have handled it differently? Now for a few comments before the update. You're the idiot. What do you think he's going to do exactly with 3 children under 4? Spend all day elsewhere so you can be comfortable? You live in a shared space, get your plugs. Then the original poster responded with, "It maybe tell his child to be quiet when she's shrieking in the hallway at the top of her lungs for no reason." And apologized to all the neighbors who opened their doors to see what the commotion was about. Comment 2. You're the idiot. That's totally normal for 3 children under the age of 4. I'm not sure what you believe your note will accomplish. Then the original poster responded with, "According to professionals, it is actually not normal for children to have that many tantrums in a 24-hour time span." Now for the update. After reading the comments on my original post, I decided to remove the note before my neighbor saw it. I took what some of you said into consideration. Perhaps I just needed to be more patient. I decided if the noise issue escalated, then I'd do something. Otherwise, I would just suck it up and use headphones like some of you advised. Well, today, his children screamed/shrieked 4 times within a 1-hour period in the hallway. This was right by my door about 2 feet away from my apartment. The 4th time it happened, I opened my door and said, "Please don't scream in the hallway, guys." Once I said this, he told me that his kids are allowed to scream in the hallway, or anywhere else in the building that they feel like. I told him that actually, no, they're not, according to our lease. He then told me to suck it up and to contact management, and to not talk to him. After our conversation, he told all 3 of his kids, "You can be as loud as you want in here," and then shot me a nasty look, and proceeded to walk to the stairs. Once he said that, all 3 kids started squealing as loud as possible, on purpose. I sent management an email, and they are talking to him first thing in the morning. I know some of you suggested I do this in the first place. I wish I did. Update 2.0. I just went down to the management office to follow up with the manager. She said she had a meeting set for today at 1 p.m. with the resident. She immediately contacted him when I emailed her last night. But then today, he emailed her saying he could no longer make the 1 p.m. meeting and asked why he had to come down. He's in his apartment right now doing nothing. He doesn't work. She told him he is in violation of his lease, and it's best if he comes down. Apparently, he didn't reply to her. She told me that if he doesn't come down to meet with her, she is going to draft an official lease violation letter and begin the process of eviction. I was blown away. She's a great manager. She told me that his reaction, telling me his kids are allowed to yell and telling the kids to keep yelling, is the reason for how she's handling this, not purely the noise complaint. She said she's horrified and disgusted that somebody would handle this situation this way. Her and I both agreed that it was strange he would encourage me to not speak to him and to contact management, rather than just simply telling his kids, SHHHH, and appreciating I said something to him directly. Update 3.0. After I talked with management, I saw my neighbor bring his children to their mother's house. He's been in his apartment, alone, for the last few days and hasn't come out. He has all the blinds drawn. He posted the following status on social media. "I am the perfect success in all areas of life. My husband follows him, which is how I know this. I think he's pretending he's not home to avoid both myself and management. It's what to make of it, and I don't plan on getting involved." Comment 1. Not the idiot. The fact that you have to expect some noise when you live in a multiple occupancy building does not mean that all noise is acceptable. Screaming in the hallway is not acceptable. Encouraging his kids to make more noise instead of doing his job as a parent makes that other guy TA. Fully. And if they get evicted for violating the terms of their lease, you didn't get them evicted. The dad did that. People need to stop this BS of blaming the person who reports the problem instead of the one causing it. Then the original poster responded with, "I appreciate you saying this. My goal was never to get them evicted. My goal was to reduce the noise. I purposefully talked to him first to avoid escalating it to management. He's the one who told me to talk to management. And he's the one now refusing to talk to management himself. All of this is his own doing." Comment 2. You're the idiot, absolutely. What a Grinch you are. So, some kids are being kids, making noise, and living their life, and you think it's okay to criminalize their existence? Not everyone is privileged enough to afford a detached house where their kids' noise wouldn't disturb the neighborhood. Some have to make do with what they have. This man is clearly a single father, trying his best, and instead of offering help or a listening ear, you go straight for the kill. Children are naturally noisy, tantrums are a part of their developmental process. You're acting like they are committing some grande sin. Oh, the horror of children behaving like children. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for wanting more help with my child after my surgery? I, female 24, had a baby about 8 weeks ago. It was a difficult pregnancy and I had to be induced at 37 weeks due to medical complications. I had to get stitches and the recovery was really rough. 4 days ago I was feeling really awful, so I asked my husband, male 26, to take me to the hospital. Turns out I had gallstones and needed to get my gallbladder removed, which happened 2 days ago. Yesterday I was discharged from the hospital, and while the doctor did say I should walk around, I don't think I should be 100% back to doing everything I was before the surgery. I asked my husband for just a little extra help with our child. I said I don't mind holding her in my lap for feedings, but diaper changes and anything involving carrying the baby from room to room I'm uncomfortable with, at least the first day or two being back home. He got upset because the doctor said I should be fine. We got into a big argument after I explained that this is my second major medical procedure in the last 2 months and I didn't say I wasn't doing anything, I just needed a little extra help. This morning, my mother-in-law, who I usually get along great with, stopped me on my way to the bathroom to tell me I shouldn't be asking for extra help. That I have a child now and it doesn't matter what healing I'm doing because the baby comes first. Again, I said I wasn't asking for anyone to take over for the baby completely. I was just uncomfortable carrying the baby from room to room since she's pretty big now and kicks right where the incisions are. I thought it was reasonable since I literally just came home from the hospital the evening before. I thought my points were valid, but now that 2 people in my family have said the same thing, I'm not sure if I'm TA or not. I'm in a lot of pain and I need a little more rest than usual, not to mention my painkillers have been putting me to sleep for hours. Am I the idiot? Edit. Trying to add this answer in my update, but it isn't posting for whatever reason, so I'll leave it here. Both my husband and mother-in-law previously had been super helpful with the baby. My husband has never seen helping out as babysitting or only my job, and my mother-in-law has also helped a lot by watching my child so I can take naps or run errands. I'm not sure why they blew up when I asked for just a bit of extra help. Wanted to clarify that they had been very helpful up until this point. As far as the living situation is, we are temporarily staying with my mother-in-law. She had broken her back and our lease for our apartment was up, so we decided to move in to help her heal and also use that time to save money for a down payment on a house. Unfortunately, this was right before the housing in our area blew up in prices, so it's been hard to find anything. What was only supposed to last about 6 to 12 months will be 2 years in November. A big part of both of their arguments was that my mother-in-law had her gallbladder removed a few years ago, and she went right back to normal as soon as she left the hospital since she's the main caretaker for her mother. She's also broken her back twice while taking care of her parents, and still went right back to it as soon as she left the hospital. Then she compared me recovering to a story of her killing a tarantula outside before her kids came home from school. Yes, it could bite her and maybe even kill her, but her kids are worth it, and that's how I needed to see recovering from surgery as. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. These people are a pack of wolves. Do you have any family or friends you could stay with while you heal? If not, call your OB-GYN, explain the gallbladder emergency, and ask if they'd give you a letter to share with your family. The gallbladder doctor was just giving you the generic instructions and not modify them for the fact that you're postpartum and caring for a newborn. But really, these people are horrifyingly awful and I doubt they can be reasoned with. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your husband should be helping more since you just had a major surgery. Your mother-in-law isn't making sense. You need to heal, or it will affect the baby. Now for the update. First off, I wanted to thank everyone for their input. I was feeling kind of bad for being upset over this, but this made me feel like my feelings were justified. I do want to clear a couple things up. First off, I totally get why some people thought in this instance my husband was seeing helping with his child as babysitting. Usually he's all for putting in 50-50ths with our child. He stays up late, fixes bottles, changes diapers, etc. He's usually a very doting and loving father, which is why his comment threw me off so much. And my mother-in-law has also helped a lot by watching my child so I can take naps or run errands, again which is why I was so thrown off by her comment. A lot of people asked about our living situation. We are temporarily staying with my mother-in-law while saving for a down payment on a home. She stays at home and has offered to take care of the baby when I go back to work. There wasn't really anywhere else I could stay as others suggested either. My family has also been treating the surgery as no big deal and expected that I would have no problem with the baby. And even when they offered to come help for the day, they all backed out last minute, so I was feeling very on my own. As far as the aftermath, my husband and mother-in-law both apologized for what they said. Everyone was exhausted from the 4 days I was in the hospital. My husband wasn't sleeping while at the hospital, and my baby was apparently very fussy since it was the longest time she was away from me since giving birth to her, so mother-in-law had no sleep either, and everyone was just frustrated with the entire situation. I guess they both just said the first thing that came into their heads with no sleep after I asked for help. I was honestly relieved because neither of them have ever acted like that before, and it was completely out of nowhere. Everything has been good now. I am still healing, but my husband and mother-in-law have been a huge help with the baby. I go back to work in about 2 weeks and I'm trying to get as much rest as possible beforehand as well. Comment 1. You don't have a baby and suddenly identify solely as a mother. You're allowed to have your own wants and needs. Your well-being and health is just as important as the baby's. Maybe more since you're recovering from 2 surgeries and you've also just grown into a human being. I'm glad y'all communicated and you finally got some help. It sounds like you gave each other some grace. Hopefully y'all's relationship will be better for it. This won't be the last time this happens, especially with a baby. Keep advocating for yourself and your needs. And enjoy motherhood. Comment 2. I'm so glad it was because your family was exhausted and cranky, not because they were neglectful and cruel. I get why you were so confused now. I'm old and cranky too, so I understand why they said what they said, but yeah, they needed to apologize. They did. Happy family again. Love your mother-in-law. I hope I can be as good as caring for a 4-month-old for 4 days with a stressed out dad and mom too sick to help. Superstar. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.